Welcome back to round one, where we play just the beginning of a game to give you a taste of what it's like. And today, Emily and I are going to be playing Septima. Now, we're not going to be playing the full game, like I said, but we're also going to be playing a little bit more than just once through a turn.
Full season.
Full season is what they call the rounds here. There's 4 seasons in total. And it's seasons because effectively it is the seasons of the witch. We are playing witches. We have our own covens. Ooh. We're going to be doing witchy things, going around this board, collecting ingredients, brewing potions, using those potions to heal citizens, or patients, if you will. Hopefully getting some of them on our side, getting some loyal citizens over here in the crowd.
So that, if there's a trial of the witches, they'll be on our side and say, no, keep them in the town. They're good.
Right, but hopefully more on my side specifically and not Emily's, because we're trying to recruit more witches from those trials to our coven. But there's a lot going on in this game. We're going to be playing with a couple of the modules that are going to be available for it. There may be more modules they'll be announcing throughout their campaign. But we have a thorough rundown of how you play this game. It is not necessarily a how to play, but Emily and I give a very good overview in another video, so check that out on our channel right now. If you want that, you can pause this one, open your browser, go to another window, open that video, watch it, and then come back here, because we're really just going to focus on playing the game.
Yeah.
We will narrate what we're doing, but we're not going to explain thoroughly the entire game again. Yeah. So check out that video if you get a chance, and we're going to jump right in right now to play this game.
Let's do it.
Now, we did do some setup stuff. So we will tell you what we did. So we started with a couple witches each, and when you do that, you're going to get 3 witches and select 2. Emily, who did you start with?
I chose Albert, and what he does is that when I'm under suspicion by the witch hunters, I can take the die roll, and instead of using what it was, so it could be up to adding 2 suspicion, I can subtract 2 suspicion, no matter what the die roll was, but then permanently increase my suspicion by 1. So basically what he does is, in a pinch, I might narrowly escape the witch hunters.
Yeah, we're basically trying to stay away from the witch hunters, and if your suspicion is high, there's a higher chance of them getting you. He's going to help you get away.
Yeah, and then Edith is going to help me when I'm healing. So when I'm healing, usually I would go up the corresponding track for which color patient I'm healing. But she's going to allow me to go up whichever track I want, which is nice, a lot more flexibility. I don't have to be healing specifically like this color patient. She's going to allow me to heal whoever I want and then go up whichever track I want.
And that's nice for a couple reasons. One, there's bonuses on all those spaces, so if you're looking for a specific bonus. The other thing is, if you get all of those markers up to certain levels, you're going to get 7 points for each level they've passed. I have Hazel. Hazel is pretty cool because when I heal patients, I don't have to be adjacent to them. I can be up to 2 hexes away, which is pretty big because you're going to be moving out to the outskirts of this map to get ingredients. I won't have to go all the way back into center of town necessarily. And then I have Randall, and Randall's going to help with the rights track over here. This is it's probably the first big module to the game. We are going to be playing with it. You move up this track in order to get some charms and refresh those charms and use those abilities. But Randall, when I go up to certain levels, typically in this game, you might have to pay ingredients. Here's 1, 2, 2, and 2. Randall, he doesn't care.
Oh, nice.
You don't have to pay any ingredients. So we'll see. I might try to go up this track.
Yeah.
It just depends on how the game plays. We're going to be playing cards, and it might not all come together.
You talked about charms. We did also start with a charm each, which we got to choose of the 6 available. I chose one called Summoning, which says, before resolving a trial, I can move my pawn, so my actual person, to any chamber's first empty space, and then after the trial, I would place it on any space adjacent to a town hex.
Oh, that's nice.
It is. So it's going to give me a lot of flexibility. I'm going to get to put someone into the trial right away, and then I get to move my person on the board.
Yeah, that just increases Emily's chance of winning that witch, if you will, and also saving that witch. I have the Cloak of Charisma. I wish I had that in real life. But the Cloak of Charisma matching with Septima. So in this game, when you play cards, you're going to match with other players, or maybe Septima with these tokens that she has out. When you match with Septima, you're either going to go up 1 or 2 suspicion. If I use the Cloak of Charisma, I actually lower my suspicion by 1 instead of that. Now, nice. All of these charms, when they're used, whether they're ongoing or just a one-time effect, they get tapped, and they don't really refresh without some effort. They're only going to refresh
Yeah.
as you climb up this track for the most part. Maybe some other things
We're going to have to
do it.
really try for it if that's what we're going for.
Yeah, we're not going to get a ton of these charms, and we're certainly not going to use each charm a lot of different times, maybe
Right.
once or twice. But that's what the charms do. And then finally, we got a couple other things. We got these prologue cards, which are really cool the way those work with this player aid, that kind of dictate what starting resources you have, but you get to use these two cards in combination with each other to sort of choose which things you want, and then you put those up against your player aid, and it says you get 3 of these, 2 of these, and 1 of these. So it's kind of a cool variable way to start. And then finally, we each have a Book of Divinations card, which is our end-of-game scoring. I'm not going to share this with Emily, but each of these has 4 different end-of-game scoring opportunities. Those are also associated with the number of witches you have. So if you want to score all 4 of these things, you need to have 4 witches.
Right. And we're starting with 2.
If I only have 1 at the end, I'm only choosing 1 of these. And they range from 5, 10, 15 to 20 points. So
big points.
They can be some pretty big points in addition to going up this patient track. So with that said, we will...
And we put our person on the board.
Oh, yes. We put our person on the board. We put our markers on the rights track. I think it's about time to start.
Let's do it.
Emily is going to be the start player in the first round.
Okay.
I flipped those out opposite. So in the first round, you go through this track. We put out these Septima tokens. And if we match her by collecting, our suspicion will go up 2. If we match her by chanting, which is another action you can take, we'll go up by 1.
And if we match each other, we go up by 1 as well.
And if we match each other, and Septima, we just match each other.
Yeah.
Septima's not in the equation there. So we did that, and now the next thing we do is we look at our cards and select one of these. With the rights module, we're playing with 9 cards, so there's 9 things to choose from. I am going to go... Oh, I didn't place my guy exactly, but I'm placing him there.
What you going to do, David?
I think you probably know... I know what you're going to do.
I have a strong
Emily
suspicion
started
of what
with
you're
a
doing.
couple potions. So when you start with some remedy potions, you can just heal right away. I'd bet money that that's a heal. Ooh.
I feel like I know what you're going to do, though, too.
I think you know. I thought I knew, but I don't. I'm actually going to do this right here.
David's starting the mind games right away.
Yeah, and you can discuss what you're going to do. You can
Yeah,
actually
that's
say
true.
what card you're going to use to try
that
to
we
get
get it
someone to
together?
match with you, and you might cooperate temporarily, but it's not a cooperative game
Semi-cooperative at best.
at best.
So we'll get to see, and we will reveal.
I'm recruiting.
Oh, I did not expect that.
No, I bet you expected me to
collect.
No,
I
I'm not
did.
collecting.
Is that because Septima's collecting right now, and you don't?
Correct. I didn't
be
want my
suspicious?
suspicion to go up that fast.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I'm recruiting, but you are the first player, so she's going to resolve her card
I'll
here.
do mine first. So I'm healing up to 2 adjacent patients. So I can heal the 2 blue patients, or I could heal someone at the hospital. But since I have 2 blue potions, may as well heal the patients. And so if David was going to be healing at the same time, we would wait till the end of the round. But I will just clear them now, since I know he's way too far away to be healing them. When I heal the blue patients, I'm going to go up. And with Edith again, I can go up any track I want.
Ooh, what are you going to do? Are you going to do
up
that?
the red track, actually, because that'll allow me to go up the right. And so I can start moving up this right track, hopefully getting some
Are you going to
charms
go
soon.
here or here?
I'm going to go to the left, because
This
I
one
think
here?
collecting is probably closer in my future
Okay.
than chanting. And then for the second one, I will go up the blue, and that's going to lower my suspicion.
You're at -1 suspicion.
-1.
I'm not even sure what less than 0 suspicion
I'm
looks like in
so
real life.
upstanding of a citizen. They're like,
They
this
don't
is
even
the
know where
mayor.
they don't even know. Yeah, you're not suspicious. We just know you're not a witch. So you didn't match.
I didn't match, so I don't get to do the bonus
So she doesn't
action.
get the bonus action.
Oh, and also I forgot to do this part, which is that
yeah.
before we do our action, you have to move. Always forget, but you gotta move
If you
first.
want to move. You don't have to move necessarily, but if you're going to use this free move,
Yeah.
you have to do it before you use your action. I assume you're not going
Yeah,
to.
I'm not gonna have moved this time because I wanted to be next to the 2 patients.
All right, so I'm going to go, and I might move, actually.
Ooh.
In fact, I am going to move. So I'm going to move here.
Okay.
And I played recruit, and I didn't match, but my main action is add a loyal citizen to the crowd.
Okay.
We each start with 6 loyal citizens, so I'm going to add this to the crowd right here. Emily started with one there based on her starting cards, and there's 2 hostile and 2 neutral citizens here. These are going to be the citizens that ultimately go into a bag and determine this trial. And we might also be able to put some here before the trial begins. But I've already got one in there. Now
we're even again.
Now we're even.
We'll see.
I also didn't match, but had I matched, I would have been able to add an additional citizen to the crowd, but I didn't match. And you'll see what I was going to collect, but I didn't want to collect, like you said, because of that.
Septima. So then we go into E. If we see who matched, none of us matched.
Right.
So we don't get to move up the right track. Into F, if we matched, we would have had to raise our suspicion.
But we don't.
But we don't. And then we go to G, where anybody who's raised suspicion, we're going to have the witch hunter see if they can get them. Luckily, David and I did not. We were not suspicious at all.
No.
Don't be suspicious.
We will be, believe me. You'll see it here in this video, but it didn't happen this round.
And then H, even if we weren't in the same place as the witch hunter, if we were suspicious, they would have come to try to find us, which, again, we were not suspicious this round. So we were very good.
So that comes all the way back to A. Then the lunar marker, if I can grab it here, moves right here. Now, I'll point this out really quick. That determines what ingredients you can actually pick up. So in the first round, I could have picked up mushrooms and herbs. This time, if I collect, not saying I am, I can pick up herbs and skulls. So we are back to the beginning. Oh, and we refresh these Septima tokens, so the collect one is going to go away. The chant one will move over, and now it will raise suspicion too. And the next one is heal. Ooh, good thing you got that.
I got it out
done.
early. The thing too to know about chant is that its bonus action is that it doesn't raise suspicion.
Yes.
So this might be a good time.
That is true. That could be. Although you're already at the bottom. You can't get less suspicious than you, Emily. So I am going to do this. Not that it's collect. And then we'll reveal. Oh, it is collect. It is collect. So we are at this stage right here. Emily's still the first player. She's going to be the first player for this whole season. There's 4 seasons, and the player marker just moves between seasons. And a season is comprised of 5 of what we just did.
Yeah. So I chose to move. I'm in the middle of the town right now. It's not close to really anything, so I'm going to move out and try to start positioning myself. I have 1 movement first, so I'll do 1.
Yeah, so you can move 5 total with the free movement.
And then 4 more. I'm going to end up 2, 3, 4. I want to end up there, I think. Yep.
Oh, look, you're in my neck of the woods. Literally the woods. And you didn't match.
No.
So if she had matched, she would have been able to collect an ingredient along the way.
Which would have been nice.
But alas, you did not. I am collecting. So my action is to collect all lunar ingredients from adjacent hexes. The lunar ingredients, like I said, are herbs and skulls. And I look at these 3 hexes.
Ooh, you got a lot.
There's an herb, and a skull. So I can get all of that.
You have quite a few resources.
I've got some ingredients.
I feel like a brewing might be upcoming.
A brewing might be coming. Oh, speaking of brewing, I did start with one of these potions. This potion will let me, when I use it, I can just move my pawn to any space on the board.
Yeah.
This is nice, especially being on the outskirts of the forest here. I can just, boom, go to the village. We'll see.
It's a flying ointment.
It is a flying ointment.
Very thematic. All right. So again, we checked to see, did anyone match? We did not match again. So we don't get any of the bonuses. We don't raise suspicion. Since we didn't raise suspicion, the witch hunters are asleep for the time being.
Nope, they're fine. The witch hunters don't know what to do right now with themselves. They're like, they're pretty certain there's no witches.
Seems pretty good.
We can assure you, witch hunters, there are witches on the board.
So we will go on to phase 3 in the lunar cycle.
Okay, so now if you're collecting, I'm not. Well, maybe. I could collect with the remember card.
You could.
But let's see what you do, because I think I have a feeling you might be.
I want to see what Septima comes out with.
So no chant anymore.
What I end up doing.
Healing. I'm going to have to wait for that to go away. Oh, and plea.
Plea.
So plea is an action that lets you move some of your loyal citizens down into the trial chamber, which could be a thing.
It's really good if you already have someone in the crowd. And
yes.
we both have someone in the crowd already. So...
that is compelling.
Right?
But I think...
So we've both chosen, and now, reveal.
I'm brewing.
I'm collecting.
Just like you thought, and just like I thought you would be doing. So go ahead and collect. No,
right.
You didn't match with anyone.
I did
Neither
not
did
match.
I. So you're just doing the main action.
But I do want to collect right now, because I'm purposely positioned so that way I can get 2 skulls and a blueberry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, for you, not for me. 2 skulls and a berry.
Thank you very much. And now I've got quite a few resources ready to go.
Now, we didn't mention this, but had she match on the collect, you'd also be able to collect one ingredient from an adjacent space that is not one of the lunar ingredients, which is also pretty nice.
Yeah.
I am brewing, so I can brew up to 3 potions. And we use this little chart right here that shows all the different potions and the ingredients that are required. I have my ingredients all lined up and ready to go. I'm going to spend an herb and a skull. Oh, wait, no, that's not true. Herb and a mushroom to brew a green potion, please.
Yes, sir. That'll help with the plague.
Yes, it will. And then I'm going to brew a blue potion with an herb and a skull.
That'll help with paralysis.
And then I'm going to brew a love potion.
Oh, God.
The love potion, did you like that? The love potion is really cool here and very thematic. Now, this is one of those potions that you can use. It's not to heal anyone, but you use the love potion. By the way, the love potion requires a skull, a root, and a mushroom, which I have. I am very out of ingredients now. I just have a skull and some potions. But the love potion, it lets me add 1 of your loyal citizens to the crowd, then place a citizen from the crowd in the trial, all in one shot, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So that was my brewing.
And because you did that one, you get 3 wisdom points.
Oh, that's right. When you brew one of those types of potions, you get some points. So I haven't done that in our plays thus far too much, where I was trying to get points and brewing those potions. But I think there's something to be said there.
There's a potential there.
So that was all of our actions. Oh, and I did want to move. I'm going to rewind
I
a
also
little
want
bit.
to move.
Well, you collected, so...
Oh, you're right. Never mind. I didn't want to move.
I'm going to move a little bit closer to the
Best
village.
friends.
Yeah, we are buds. And we did that, so we're going to move on to E. Again, no one matched, right?
Still no matching.
You'd think there would be some matching. Now, there is going to be more and more matching in 3 and 4 player games and later in the game for sure. And there's going to be times where we want to match.
Yeah.
But there's no matching, so we don't go up the rights track, we don't get suspicion, and the hunters are still saying, I don't think there's witches in this entire town.
Why did they hire us?
We assure them there are. All right, so we've done 3 of the 5 turns in a round or a season, so now we're on to 4.
So first, again, Septima is going to see what she's up to, and she's recruiting.
So recruiting and plea will both raise suspicion if we do it with Septima. I'll do this.
You seem so scared.
Heal. I don't want to make a mistake, and I definitely wanted to heal this first round. So
you want to heal right now? You're not even near anything.
You're Oh, I will be.
Oh, you got one of those potions.
I've got that potion. So
okay,
I'm going to heal, but you're going to recruit
first. I'll go
first.
first. So we've just revealed, and now I do get to move first, and I'm going to move this time. So I will move 1 step, inch my way closer back towards the middle. And then I'm recruiting, and I did match with Septima this time.
You did.
So I'm going to get to add a loyal citizen to the crowd.
And
add another loyal citizen.
That was a good. So
it's a big Emily crowd.
Now, and the good news is that's on this side in a 2-player game. That's going to just raise your suspicion by 1 when we get to that part. So you did both. I'm going to heal. I didn't match, so I'm just doing the top portion. Heal up to 2 adjacent patients. I'm not adjacent to patients. Adjacent. I'm going to, what's the potion called?
Flying.
Flying ointment. I'm going to exchange that to move to any space on the board. I'm going to move right here.
I see.
And let's see. I have a couple potions here. So what's interesting here is I have a green and a blue potion that I'm going to use. Okay. There's no blue patients, but I am going to utilize that hospital in the center to heal a blue. And we'll show you the difference there. First, I'm going to heal the green patient. And since Emily's not going to heal this, I'll go ahead and remove it. But just to be clear, if multiple people are possibly going to heal, you can all heal the same patient, and then it gets removed.
You're just double healed by all the witches.
And then I'm going to heal a blue patient from the hospital. So what happens is I'm going to move up on both of those tracks. I move up on the green, and I get that bonus, which lets me put a loyal citizen into the crowd. I move up on the blue, but since I helped that patient from the hospital, I don't get the bonus on my track. I still just get to move up the track, so that's fine. I moved up the track. And I feel pretty good about that. I didn't match, so I don't get to use that action. However,
I did match. So on E, I am going to get to go up on the track. Unfortunately, I did not plan it well.
yes. So here's an interesting thing. Had she matched on something that would allow her to have done a collect action or the plea action, which would have been possible.
I really should have done that.
That would have been good. She could have moved up here. So it's kind of tricky to move up this track.
Yeah,
there are some
thinking about it.
There are some options to go up that track that are a little easier, but when you're matching with people, you have to really pay attention to what are those two symbols up there. But again, that is kind of a bonus thing to what you're really trying to do in the game.
So we'll take that loss for now. Because I did match, though, I do have to go up my suspicion, and I chose to recruit because it'll only move me up 1 on my suspicion, so I'm back to 0. I did raise my suspicion, though, so because of that, I'm in an area with a hunter. So he's going to see if he can catch me. I'm 3 away from him. My suspicion's at 0, though.
That's true.
So
this could be interesting.
So we'll see. So I do get to roll.
Oh, no,
the
you're
die.
safe, I think, right?
I think so. I also have Albert here to help in case.
That's true.
So -1.
-1.
Easy.
So
easy win.
You add her suspicion level to this roll, which is a -1. He's not going to be able to reach her. He needed 1, 2, 3 to get her. He's not going to get her. So you're safe.
I'm good.
Albert is safe for now. And this die, just so you know, has a 0, a +1, a -1, a +2, and then a symbol that is basically the witch hunters being asleep. And they just don't do anything, no matter what your suspicion level is.
That's what you're going for, really.
That is.
And then we say anybody who raised suspicion who wasn't in the area, which you didn't raise suspicion, so we're all good. They would have moved if we had. And then that's the end of this round.
Yeah, so then we go to the last step of the season.
Lunar Phase 5.
And our last card to play. This comes back here. Let's see what Septima's tokens are. Recruit has moved over, and the next one is Remember. So the Remember action is a card that we can play that allows us to do one of the cards we've already played again.
This is an interesting time.
Interestingly enough, the 5th card is frequently.
Probably when you're going to remember.
That's going to be one of those times where you use it, so you can use one of those cards. So we'll see.
What
happens there. Oh, boy.
What are we going to do? I think I'm going to...
Oh, very interesting.
No, right? David, you want to play right? I'll play right, too, and then we could get the bonus.
Are you going to play right?
We'll get the bonus together.
But then we'll go up on our suspicion. Where is my... Oh, I'm in the middle of town.
You're
I'm fairly
pretty
safe right now because the witch hunters can't really move that far. But I'm...
But the thing is, too, I can ask David if he wants to do right with me and then just fake him out and choose a totally different card.
If you want to do right, since we're playing with the right module, I will do right with you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I will do right with you.
Okay. Let's do right then.
All right.
And then we reveal...
I'm doing plea. Oh, we are both dirty lying witches. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe you. I'm outraged. And you should be outraged at me as well.
I didn't really believe you, if I'm going to be honest. I was like, there's no way he does it.
I should. Oh, if I should, I would have felt like a sap had I done that. All right, so I'm pleading and you are brewing. So brew away.
Brew away with all of my different potions. But first, before I brew, I'm going to make sure to move. I'm trying to get further and further away from this witch hunter.
Yeah, definitely want to do that.
Yeah. And so when I'm brewing, I'm going to make some potions. I'm going to do a couple of the paralysis remedies.
Nice.
To give you some skulls and herbs. And then I'm going to get that calming potion.
The calming potion. Lower your suspicion by 2 or move a witch hunter to an empty hut and set them to inactive. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I mean, later in the game when your suspicion is high, if you have some things like that up your sleeve, it gives you the freedom to go, you know what, I don't care what I'm doing here. I don't have to worry about this because I can always put that witch hunter to sleep.
Right. And I get 3 wisdom for it.
Oh, nice.
So I'm set up for next round.
I think we've already brewed maybe more of those potions than we did in
previous games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're done. Neither of us matched, so we're just doing the top of our action. I did.
But we had coordinated efforts so well, David.
Yeah, we could have matched, but we didn't. I'm pleading. This is put a citizen from the crowd into any trial chamber. I'm going to put down into this trial chamber here, and I'm actually going to put one of my people down there. So I have a leg up. Now, who knows what's going to be drawn out of the bag at the end, but if it comes down to a tiebreaker or a double tiebreaker, I'm first in line, so I will win the witch if it comes to that. I don't get to do this extra action, so thankfully we didn't raise suspicion. We didn't match also.
No, we didn't match, so we don't do
So
the matching
none of
things.
these other things are going to happen, but before this comes back here, we are going to resolve the trial.
So we're on 5th, so we're going to do the trial.
So the trial, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add to the crowd based on our suspicion. Good news.
We're not suspicious at all.
We've, as you've seen, stayed very...
under the radar.
Very under the radar. So as you climb up the suspicion track, there's going to be different bars that you cross, and at this stage, you're going to put in a hostile citizen for each bar that you've crossed. We've crossed none of those.
And they're cumulative, too. So if you get higher, it's like I could be adding 3, David's adding 3. If we're playing with a higher player count, everyone's adding 3. Yeah.
So we're not going to add any hostile citizens. So, excuse me, Emma.
Go ahead.
I will help you.
And while you do that, though, I'm going to activate my special charm.
Oh, no.
So it says, as a reminder, before resolving a trial, I can move my pawn into any chamber's first empty space.
So she's moving her actual player pawn over to the trial.
Yeah. And you already took the first space, so you have that tiebreaker, which kind of sucks. But at least I have somebody in the mix.
And you have more people in here.
I do.
So we're going to draw, in a 2-player game, 1, 2, 3, 4 more.
Yep.
And again, there's neutrals, there's hostiles. She has 3 in here. I have 1 more. Oh, it'd be so sweet if I won this. I'm going to let you draw.
Okay.
One at a time.
Yes. Okay.
Is it you?
It's me.
Oh, no.
A loyal citizen.
Oh, but I could still win with a tie.
Yeah, but loyal citizen. Oh, hostile.
Hostile.
Okay, we're still winning it, though.
We are still winning. I don't see us losing it at this point. Oh, no.
Yes.
So she's assured her victory. And
we'll just see. Do I get one more? Nope, neutral.
Neutral. So the first thing we do is try to determine if the witch was saved, if the trial was successful. And how we do that is the hostiles are -1, the neutrals are 0, and all loyal citizens, whether they're hers or mine, are going to be +1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. -1 is 3. As long as it's positive, the witch is saved. So you get that witch.
I get Katharina, and she's going to allow me to, when I collect, I can collect from the next lunar phase as well. So I have 2 phases to choose from.
That's pretty good.
That helps with the planning quite a bit.
Yeah, these witches really offer a lot of flexibility, and you can actually build some engines, particularly when you see the next witch, and they might synergize really well with one of your current witches. The next thing we're going to do is, because it was a winning trial, we're each going to get 2 points for our loyal citizens there. So Emily is getting 6 points.
Woo!
I am getting a lowly 2.
But my guys are going to come back to me, into my supply. And David, since he didn't win, is going to go back to the crowd.
Yeah.
Which is great for him because that just means that he can come up in the next trial. And
any ones that were left in the bag are going to go back to the crowd. And then we're going to go ahead and reset for the next round. We're again going to start with 2 hostile and 2 neutrals every time. It's based on player count. So that will be the crowd for the next round. And then lastly, you're going to finish your summoning card.
Yeah, it says after the trial, place it on any space adjacent to a town hex.
So adjacent to a town hex.
Yeah,
okay.
So I might start like on here where there's not a hunter.
I guess that's nice in that it lets
But there is a patient.
So that's a big thing about that card. It's really nice what she did here to help her in the trial, but it's also pretty positive because you can go out there and basically move almost wherever you want.
Yeah.
If you wanted to collect, it wouldn't be as great because you have to go to town, but still not too bad.
Yep.
So that's how you resolve the trial. You're going to clean up and reset for the next round. There's a few things you do, like these charm cards are going to refresh a little bit.
We'll get a hostile citizen on any patients that were left out there. So this patient will get a hostile on him.
Yes, that is true. I will put a hostile
And if we don't heal him next round, he's going to go into the crowd. So we're going to get more hostile people there. But if we do heal him, he'll be fine. He'll go away.
Patients that don't get healed generally get a little hostile.
Get a little anxious about it.
So, and then up here on this is going to move to the next season, which is winter. which is going to trigger another witch hunter to come on the board.
Yikes.
That witch hunter is going to go to the lowest numbered place, so it's here.
Oh,
you'll see that there's another witch hunter on the lunar cycle that will come out later.
Yeah.
But we're going to be playing this second season starting right here. And we're going to do that for 3 more seasons. We're going to be collecting witches. We're going to be doing a lot of what you've seen here, hopefully climbing more up the rights track than we did just now. And by the end of the game, you're going to see our suspicion will either be very high or it will have gotten high, and we've managed
keep mine low.
it down.
Don't worry.
You think we're just going to keep it down at 0 the whole time?
-1 at the end, I'm sure.
We're definitely going to want to start matching. So we're going to play the rest of the game, and then we'll come back and we'll share our entire experience in a minute. We are back. And the witches in general won the day.
Sure.
We did.
But there was someone who was most wise.
There was one particular witch, and it was Emily that won the game. Although it was very close.
Very close. It was 98-96.
Yeah, 98-96. And in a game that scores that high, for it to be that close is pretty interesting. Now, we were doing similar things, healing patients to get up this track, but we went up these tracks a little bit differently.
Ways.
We scored our divination cards a little bit differently. We'll jump into all of that. I'll start with my track. I tried to bring things up evenly because you're going to get points for each of those tracks as high as it gets, plus 7 points for every level that you've taken all 3 of them up. So I got 2 of them up to 9 and 1 of them up to 4, so I got those points. Plus I've got all of them up to 2 levels, so I got 14 points there, whereas you did a little differently.
Yeah, I decided not to go that route. I used Edith a lot so that way I could push blue all the way to the top and get the 25 points for blue. But what that meant was that my other 2 for red and green didn't get up as high. I only got 1 rose bonus of the 7 and less points. But again, the blue being 25 points felt pretty good.
No, it's 2 different ways to get effectively pretty similar points. I ended with no resources whatsoever, but you...
I had a ton. So my thing was that my Book of Divinations required me for the most points, for 20 points, to have 4 potions at the end.
Which you did.
Which I did. So I did potions right before we ended.
It was an interesting thing to do at the end of the game. I hadn't looked at her card. She was brewing all these potions. I knew she wasn't going to use them. Yeah. She wasn't using healing when she brewed other ones.
There wasn't a patient near me. He was like, what are you doing?
Clearly, she had 4 potions she needed for the 20 points. I needed all of my citizens, which all of these guys were in the bag, in the crowd, or at the trial. And you don't take any of them back from the trial at the end of the game. All 6 of my citizens somewhere out there, not here, gave me 20 points. So that's how I got the bigger element of my card. The only other one I got on my card is I'd gotten my blue healing up to at least level 2. Yeah, the other ones I didn't have.
I had forgotten about that. I forgot to get my green. I just needed it up 1 more time, which was sad. And then also what was hard for mine was that my 15 pointer was going to be to have 5 different ingredients. Ooh. I did not think about that until way too late.
Oh, I had that same one for 15 points.
That's so hard to do, especially like...
Well, especially for yours, because you wanted also to make those potions. Yeah, that would be tricky.
Yeah, but and the nice thing about yours, that you got all your guys out, you also won the last witch, which seemed very likely, had like 6 people in the crowd, and I was like, David, I don't have a way to
it was interesting. You saw Emily win that first witch, I think, and then she won the second one. And then it was interesting because...
I was full up on my
She was full and didn't want witches. However, one of the things that we discovered is these points that you get here can be pretty significant. You one time had 4 people in there, I think. Yeah. For 12 points, right? 12 or no,
4
8
for
points.
8 points.
8 points isn't insignificant in a game where we're scoring in the 90s just for having people over there. And she of course won the witch. But I went in there and I got the 3rd and the 4th witch, so we all could score all 4 of our things,
which was nice
if we could.
And we also last round, but to be fair, the last round we had to really be careful because our suspicion got up. I think mine's at 3 at the end. Yeah, and which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think about it, Septima can raise your suspicion by 2. Then I'm at 5. The furthest I can get from a witch hunter is 6. So it's like. I mean, even without rolling the die, I'm only 1 away, frankly, even if I'm furthest as I can be from him. And you were doing a dance.
Yeah, it was very interesting in almost the entire last round. So I healed at the very beginning of the last round. But then, in most cases throughout the game, I felt like, okay, if I heal at the beginning, maybe I can collect, maybe I can brew, maybe I can remember and heal again. Yeah. In this round is where I really started focusing on this divination card because I was like, oh, okay, the game is ending. What do I need to do? I had won a witch in the previous round, so I had like 2 more loyal citizens still sitting here in front of me. And I had I'd matched beautifully. I got really lucky on the recruit action being something I could match with Septima. Played it, I think it was my last action, to get my last 2 guys over there, which is what gave me this 20 points. I mean, I would have been nowhere near as close to you.
That would have been a huge
had I not done that. But all that while, I was just sitting here moving back and forth so that this witch hunter, because I had this empty space here, when I went here, if I was suspicious, he would move here. And then I would just move here on the next turn. And if I wasn't suspicious, he wouldn't move. But I was basically just keeping safe.
Back and
so
forth.
I didn't have to roll the die. I didn't have to even worry about any of
Meanwhile,
that.
I was off collecting things, so I was right in the thick of it. And there's so many witch hunters out at the end that you're like, I can't be suspicious because they will get me right away.
Yeah, it was very close. But yes, Emily won. We didn't get any of the points up on the rights track, but Emily did climb up here and grab a few of the crystals.
Yeah, those were helpful along the way for sure.
That was nice, and it let us take some of these charms. I had 3 charms in the end.
I had 3 charms as well, and I used all of mine, so I think they were really helpful throughout the game. I had some that were lowering my suspicion. You saw the one from the first round where I used that a couple times. I got to put my pawn in to the trial. That's the one I refreshed when I got up high enough. And I had another one that let me heal 2 adjacent people with the same 1 potion. And I used that one too. That one was good. That felt really
I had one that was felt particularly powerful. It wasn't quite enough to win me the game, but I did use it once. It was the healing dream. At the end of a season, I could heal a remaining patient. And so a patient had to be remaining, first of all. I could heal that remaining patient without using a potion and without being adjacent. When I took this card, Emily was like, oh.
I think it was the last round that you got it, because you didn't have it for very long, but I was still like, oh my gosh.
It wasn't enough, though. Emily won. What was the score again? 98?
98, 96.
98, 96. So that was our experience playing Septima. If you have any questions about the playthrough or any of the details that happened along the way, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then. Congratulations, you got to the end of one of our videos. Now, if you want more practice, just click on the video over here. It's another video. You might not have seen it yet, so click on it. If you don't want to do that, at least click on the subscription button below. That always helps us. And if you want notifications, please ring that bell.